Hello there, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to see how to do the logging for our microservice application you just created. This is the part 12 of the series, and let's get started. So obviously, I created a blog post for it, and the blog post has all the information we need. Before that, I think we should know what sec is. Sec is a centralized logging application where you can just log and then see all the logs collected in a central place, and it also visualizes the logs, and it also makes it easy to figure out, okay, what is the problem, because we have to trace logs through multiple services. So I think this is a really good solution. One thing you have to keep in mind is it's free, but it's free only for one account. So if you use more than one account, you have to pay. Since for my use case, one account is okay. I went with sec. If it is okay for you, go for it. Otherwise, you have to pay. For more details, you go to datalist.co/sec, and then you can find more information regarding the pricing. Yeah, so I already have sec running in my localhost. So make sure you have sec running. Otherwise, go to GitHub, and you will see there is a Docker stack. I can put this in the description. In the Docker stack, you have a sec stack. So this is the stack which I'm running to locally run the sec. So I will see that the port 8300 is where the sec UI is, and port 5341 is where it collects the data, and I'm storing everything in my local volume. Yeah, just run this Docker stack. You will have the sec running locally. Once that is running, you can start adding the sec to our microservice. So we use Serilog to log our logs, and Serilog has a sync for sec. So that comes as a package, and we are going to use the Serilog configuration so that we can read the configuration from the app config file and then use the configs from the app config file. So the first step is to add the package references to the shared project. So go to the copy the package reference, and then you have the shared project here. We have a microservice hosting, but I think it's better to put the logging infrastructure code in the hosting, because hosting is where we share everything. So this is the location. This is the project which is shared with everybody. So I will put the packages and the logic here. So double click, and then this is where the sync async is available. I will add two packages here. So serilog.sync.sec, serilog.settings.configuration. Once you have done that, next step is to create the Serilog configuration helper. This is just a C# file, which is just a static class which we will use to configure our log. Okay, interesting. Okay, we have our Serilog configuration helper. So what's happening here? This is where we read the configuration from the app settings file, and once that is available, we are rendering it here, and I mean, not rendering, reading the configuration, and then we are mentioning the application property here, so that each service can be identified with the application name, and then it's a normal logs text, and then a display to console. That this is not so different from what we do right now. So that is the Serilog configuration, and the next step is adding the app settings. So this is the app settings, and go to all the services, and then add this app settings. Before that, let's configure. So what are the services we need to add? So we have our identity server, and then we have our gateway, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 services. All 4 services needs the logging. So we will add the app settings in all the 4 services. So make sure you go to the host and in the host you will see an app settings file, and this is the same for all the services. So go to the host project, go to the app settings file, and then in the app settings add a Serilog section, which is the name sec, and then add server URL with the URL. And once you did that for all the services, we can move to the next step. Okay, now I have added the Serilog config in all the app settings. Next step is to update the service. So you will find the log configuration in the program.cs file of each services. We have to remove that and then use these two lines which we are using. What's happening in these two lines? So we are taking the program and then taking the assembly and then getting the name of the assembly and then taking the name from that name. So this will give the assembly name, and then we can use the assembly name to configure. Remember, we had this parameter here where you configure the application name, and then that adds a property to all the event logs. So that's what we are doing here. So we're taking the assembly name and then configuring the Serilog with the assembly name. So just copy this and we add this to all the program.cs. So this is the log configuration right now. Delete that and then put this in. Since we already have the shared hosting available, you just have to import the using. That will be it. Let's do that for all the other services. Okay, we have updated the assembly. Now let's build it to make sure there is no error. Okay, our build is successful. Now let's run try. Okay, I can see all our applications are running. Let's go and check the administration service and also the project service. Okay, both of them are running. Let's go and check sec. As you can see, sec is already running and the time is 18:59 right now. I can come here and then refresh the project service again and you will see new logs appearing. Yes. What if I do application configuration? Okay, we'll refresh. Yes, it says application configuration finished at in 887 milliseconds. So right now you can see we have logs, but everything is clustered in the same location. But if you can see that, okay, you can see the application is identity server, and here the application is actually project service, and yeah, but it's kind of a mess. You cannot figure out which is what, because all four services are running right now, and you cannot figure out which is coming from which service. So in this situation, you can actually create filters here, like I created here for admin service. So that means it only brings admin service here, and then you can click administration identity service, which will bring only identity service. So how do we do this? The first step is get away from all the filters. Now you have application here. So I would say just we are going to create a filter for this. That's it, nothing else. Let's see how to do this. You have to click here and then find. So you have to understand, you have to click here. Click here, that tick button, which is really small, and then click find. This will filter things based on the things you selected here. So this is the value which we are looking for. So any logs which contains the application name, which is called taskkey. Sorry, any application name which contains taskkey.projectservice.http/API.host. So you click this and then you just queried only the logs which contains project service. Now, how do I add this as a filter here? Again, go to this button here. Once the filter is done, click there. That will add a new filter and give it a name called project. And it might kind of feel weird, but this is the save symbol. So they have a bad UX. That is the save icon. Go and then click save. Now you have a project filter here. So you can come back and then now you can filter with projects. You will only get project service logs, and then now you get both project and identity. Now if you unselect, now you only get identity service logs, and you can now get admin service log. So you can add more filters, and if you want, and also you can filter only based on connection ID. So you can know what happened on that particular connection, or you can also go filter on content type. So you can basically filter on on any data which is collected in sec. That's one of the biggest advantages of using sec. You can write queries here to analyze your log, and it also comes with a really nice dashboard, and you can create your own dashboard if you want. Yeah, so this is how I actually view logs, because once you have like 5-6 services running, it will be very hard to figure out where the error happens, because right now we have a very distributed application, and it's nice when you have one location where you can just go and then check all the logs and then query the logs and figure out, okay, this is what happened. And if I want to just come and check, okay, I want to get all the requests which came to this application configuration path, and I can say, okay, it came from the project service on this time, and then yeah, you can go from there. And if you had any errors, you also have all the errors logged here. So the entire log you will see in the log here, you will see here as well. So it will be really helpful in the production environment. That's pretty much it for this video, and I think this also concludes the entire series. So I will move on to something else. This will probably the last video on this microservice with ABP. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and share the video or tweet about it. I will see you soon again in another video in some other topic. Have a good time, guys. Bye bye.